So apparently a game looks like it's been internally delayed at Xbox till 2023, and I want to talk about it. And you guys know it, but before we talk about it, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. Don't forget to go over there and follow me at Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. You can also go over there and follow me at Twitch at Iron Lords Podcast. Without any further ado, let's talk about games and Xbox. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Guide here, coming at you for another video. You guys know how this is, man. We're going to talk about some form of rumors. It wasn't necessarily anything that was confirmed by Xbox, but we got some pretty solid intel from people that's in the know. And what is that in the know, man? We're talking about Contraband. For those of you that's been sitting under a rock, Contraband is made by Avalanche Studio. You know, it's kind of the reason that people thought Microsoft was going to buy Avalanche. Now, that's still up in the air. They could easily still buy them, but I think right now it's perfectly safe to say that Microsoft might be waiting for this studio to actually deliver Contraband and see the reception from the community, from the gaming industry in general. And then, you know, if it does good, then they might go to buying Avalanche Studios. So, but anyway, Contraband was a game that was announced last year at E3, and people was extremely excited. The way that it's been described to me, it's like a GTA type of game. Well, not necessarily like GTA, but it's the heist system of GTA. And that really has always excited me because I'm not really a big fan of the online of GTA 5, but I really like heist concept. I like preparing for a heist, doing the little setups. Hopefully they'll go into detail exactly how they're going to do it in the future. I would expect something maybe E3, but I like that. I like that type of gameplay. I like that type of co-op experience. And I think a lot of people kind of expected it this year because for the most part, Microsoft's been okay with not announcing too much stuff for far into the future. You know, obviously you got your Fables, your Perfect Darts, but they've been trying to keep a lot of games close to the chest. Sure, some of them they slip up on and they announce way too soon, such as Everwild, Perfect Dark, but for the most part they have been trying to keep stuff realistic to maybe next year, the beginning of the year after that. Now, obviously we have put a lot of pressure on them in the past, and we've asked for roadmaps, and I think that has a lot to do with them jumping the gun on certain stuff and releasing information on games that maybe should have been quiet for a while, such as Fable. We're probably not going to see Fable till like 2024, but people expected this, and including myself. I kind of expected this in 2022, but it looks like, according to Jez Corden and Randolph Thoroff, the Xbox 2, shout out to them, friends, good close friends, they are saying that this game has been internally delayed till 2023. Now let's be clear. Microsoft or Xbox never came out and officially confirmed any type of release date. So you can't say this is an official delay. It's just one of those things that internally at Xbox, they wanted to hit a 2022 release date. That was highly rumored last year, but it does look like maybe because of the pandemic stuff going on, obviously Avalanche is helping other studios, they're not going to meet that deadline, and it's probably going to be an early 2023 game, and I think that's good. We have all stated multiple times that a delayed game could be a good game. A not delayed game is always going to turn out bad. We've seen it with games like Halo Infinite that should have been delayed even longer than it was. Regardless what the product came out with, you know, I'm not really going to go too much into that. I do believe that game should have been delayed. We saw games like Cyberpunk come out and pretty much financially cripple the company. Sure, they got a lot of money in terms of sales, but their stocks went through the floor. And you see stuff like this over and over again. I think it's really scared the industry in general, or companies like Microsoft, companies like Sony. They're like, look, if a game needs to be delayed so we can make sure it comes out as a full product and it's actually functionable and it's not broken, let's give them the time they need to actually do that. And I have to give my hat off to Microsoft and Xbox, because if this game was really supposed to come out in 2022, especially with the lack of games that you see coming out of the Microsoft first party camp of 2022, that they were willing to delay one of the games that might have came out this year. I've always been a standby person when it comes to let's get the best product we possibly can, and I feel like publishers sometimes they take advantage of the passion that gamers have towards their products, and they know that regardless if the game is functional, their consumers and their fans are still going to buy it. And I'm glad to see more and more publishers going away from this kind of mentality where they're like, regardless if our consumers, our gamers will buy it, let's make sure it's the best product it possibly can be. Now, as far as where that makes 2022 in terms of Xbox, they're still going to have stuff come out, maybe not as much as they would have originally anticipated, but you still have Game Pass coming out with games day and date. You're still probably going to have one or two more big AAA type of game get put in Game Pass day and date. You're going to have their first party stuff. We know Starfield's coming out this year, most likely Forza Motorsports 8. So they're going to have stuff come out in the future. It is going to be a little bit more of a lackluster year than something like last year. Microsoft had a very good last year. And, hats off to them, because I feel like that's the type of year you're going to see 2023 and beyond. You might even see that 2022. Keep in mind, we have not seen what their 2022 E3 type of conference is. And sometimes, a lot of times really, at that kind of conference, they come out and they announce games coming out this year. There's going to be certain studios that we know for a fact has working on something. Machine Games made Wolfenstein 2. And one would think that they didn't just stop making that until Indiana Jones was officially confirmed. I'm pretty sure they were working on a sequel to Wolfenstein, and we might see that sequel announced for this year at E3. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe they weren't working on something because they knew that there's a good chance they'd get this Indiana Jones. So they kind of sit back for a couple months until they got the okay and the green light to do that game. But I digress. I don't know. That's pure speculation. But I think 2023 and beyond is looking fantastic for Xbox. We got a little bit more of a wait, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this year is going to be a bad year. I think Starfield's going to be a fantastic year, and the fact that a caliber game like Starfield is going to be an exclusive to the Xbox platform and PC, obviously, is going to be really good for the ecosystem of Xbox this year around the holiday. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys excited for Contraband? Or is that just something that you have to see more gameplay on before you necessarily get any form of hype towards the game? I'm curious to hear you guys' response. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.